Welcome to Freezer Milk Podcast. I'm your host, Bridget, along with my husband, Chris. Weekly, we talk about being parents, what happened that week. It's basically our therapy session to vent out everything that we went through. We are boy parents. We have 3 boys, Enzo, Rhett, and Arlo. And if you'd like to get to know us a little bit better, you can check out our website, freezermilk.com, or follow us on Instagram at Freezer Milk Podcast. We also have YouTube and TikTok, Freezer Milk. Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you enjoy. Welcome back. It's been a minute.
It's only been like a week.
It's been like 2.
It hasn't?
Yeah. We missed a week.
Yeah. Well, we were busy.
It's hard adjusting to the new schedule.
It really is. We were talking about it the other day. We were talking about how we moved to the East Coast. We lost time. Like, we get off work later now.
Yeah.
We don't have any time in the afternoons like we did when we lived in Phoenix. You know, we'd have a couple hours before we had kids, and because they were in school or daycare, and we get out here, we get off work at 5, and we got to go get our kids immediately.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's difficult. It's kind of taken a hit on our relationship.
Yeah.
I've been a little bit grumpier, a little bit fiery.
Yeah.
A little stressed out.
A little snappy.
Yeah, but we tend to work through that.
We do.
I mean, we communicate at least.
I listen. You vent. And then I vent and cry. And you listen.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of what relationships is?
It is, yeah.
It's not
and you've learned over the years, like, my default way of releasing emotion is crying.
Yeah.
I was really stressed this week with some work stuff that came down. And I remember I looked at you and I was just like, I have so much anger inside of me. And, like, I keep crying because I'm not an angry person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't yell, none of that. And so I was just like, I just have so much anger inside of me, but I, like, can't get it out. Like, it was frustrating because I want to be like, rah, like, yell.
But you don't know how to.
I don't know how to yell. Like, I tried it the other day, like, went in the closet, like, grabbed a pillow and tried to yell in the pillow, and it was like, wah! Like, the dumbest thing ever. I was like, that didn't work. I don't know how to release that tension, apparently.
Well, you do it with crying.
Yeah.
Just like I do it with being angry.
Yelling.
I'm good at being angry.
You go and yell, fuck! To yourself in the garage, silently.
Most of the time I'll get in the car and go do it.
Yeah. No one can hear me.
Just go fucking scream in the car. God. I don't know. It's just been a whirlwind of a couple weeks. We've been talking about the podcast recently and talking about how we're not prioritizing the things that we have passion for. You know, like our business is, we can't find any time. Like, we're just,
It's a big adjustment.
like, our jobs are, you know, it's interesting because our jobs are the same as what they've always been, but it seems like they're more demanding. And
it's just because we are now on East Coast time, like, before we could start at 5 a.m. Arizona.
which would be 8 a.m. East Coast time.
Right. So we can't start at 5 a.m. East Coast.
No, we can't.
Because people aren't up. People aren't transacting business. Like, we can be up that early, but we can't do our work that early.
So we lose a couple hours every day.
It's weird. It's definitely weird.
So we've been constantly just scrambling. I feel like we're trying to get settled into some semblance of a routine, but it's like,
I don't feel like we're in a routine at all.
no. You know, back when Phoenix, we would set aside time in the evenings to podcast because we had time. And now we, like, struggle to even get that time.
We're just really tired. Like, we get really burnt because, again, we don't have a break from, like, we go from work right to
Kids.
And there's not a break there that we used to have. So I think we're just trying to figure out our new normal and figure out our new routine and figure out, you know, even today we were talking about, like, when do we get housework done? Because, like, it's go.
And then on the weekends, we have all the boys.
Yeah.
So it's not like we have childcare on the weekends.
Yeah.
So it's like, and you got 2 of them that are highly dependent on us.
Yeah.
And then a third one that's not as dependent, but he can be pretty dependent most of the time. Yeah. So it's been a struggle. It's been real. You know, we had a bitch fit today, and the past few days we've been kind of at each other's throats a little bit.
Had a lot of really good mornings and not great afternoons.
Yeah. Kids get to be overwhelming too, because we
talking
don't
about
have
that
time
today.
we don't have time to us and do us, and it's hard to put us first.
So for like the littles, we kind of each have a default kid, and we've talked about that, and it works best for
That time.
managing children is having a default kid. Like, we each have our own default. I currently have Arlo. You currently have Rhett. You had Rhett while I was pregnant with Arlo, which was so amazing and helpful because pregnancy was not a walk in the park. My body doesn't love being pregnant. I'm great at birth. Fucking birthing queen over here, but pregnancy my body's not a fan of. So we each have our default kid that we have to like keep alive and keep fed and whatnot. But we talked today because like Rhett's really starting to push your buttons.
Mm-hmm. He tests me.
Yeah, he's a mini you. And that's why he tests you. But we talked about today switching default kids.
Mm-hmm.
Which we haven't like fully done yet.
And I think we can do because, you know, Arlo's bottled.
Yeah, he doesn't nurse.
He doesn't nurse. You know, me and Red have our routine, sure. But maybe it's time
He's been more about mom recently. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, he's been...
No, mama. No, dada. No, brother. Mama.
Yep. So, I mean, maybe that's... Maybe we should listen to him. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe he needs more of that routine with you.
And part of it is I cut him off from nursing, a week ago?
Yeah.
So I think that's also what's driving more mom time, is that
he's been more ornery, too.
Yeah. But he lost the nursing, and he's still not accepted that.
No.
But he doesn't... My breastfeeding is not for the... or pumping and nursing is not for the faint of heart.
It's pretty demanding in itself. I mean, you pump, 3-4 times a day.
Yeah.
It's 30-minute sessions. Like, it wears on you. It wears on your body.
My nipples are cracked and skin tears and super painful right now.
Yeah. And it's just, you know.
And I've been doing it for 2.5 years.
Right, you had to cut off because he bit you. Made you bleed. Pretty good.
Yeah, I pumped out like...
pure blood.
Yeah, it was not good.
That was it. I mean, that was kind of your...
Yeah, I was just like, I'm done. Like, that's not great. Like, a clot came out of my boob.
But we were very fortunate that we have really good people that live in our area that gave us good advice on nannies and doctor's offices and stuff like that. So we were able to find nanny/babysitter in the area that came over for an interview, and she was here for about 2 hours and just hung out. And
she was amazing.
She was. And then we finally used her one night. And we finally got to go out. Of course, we took baby.
We took baby. You know, we just let, like, Rhett can be a lot, and doing them both at bedtime is a lot.
Yeah, because you can't take your eyes off of one of them to treat the other one.
No, I think, because we have an upcoming date where it'll definitely be during bedtime, I think I'll tell her, like, put Arlo...
in his car seat or something?
Yeah, put him in his car seat, or...
stroller.
Even a stroller makes me nervous. I'd probably say strap him in his car seat.
I mean, realistically, she could take him up the stairs and put him in his bed.
Well, I was thinking about that, too. Like, take him up and have Enzo keep an eye on Rhett for a minute. Down here.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is. It is a lot. Well, on this last weekend, you know, I had Arlo and Rhett.
For a couple hours, yeah.
For the majority of the day.
It's like 4 hours.
That's the majority of the day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's a lot. It's very demanding.
I think I gave you the option to take Enzo to Enzo's martial arts academy had like a anniversary party. And I think I gave you the option to take him.
No.
You would have not liked it.
You had told me it was busy. There was a lot of people. It was in a confined space. It was hot. No, there's no way.
Like, I was sitting and I was like, I need to go stand because, like, we are, like, airplane seat looks roomier than these seats right now. Like, sardines packed in. It was great. I mean, like, for them, it was a great turnout. It was great for everyone to show support. But I was like, yeah, no, I need to go stand because, like, the people's legs that are touching my leg is making me sweaty. So I'm good. I got those birthing hips. Yeah, they take up space.
Well, and Enzo didn't even seem like he enjoyed it.
No.
He was just like, eh.
He did win a jacket in a raffle that I get to wear because it's like an XL.
There you go.
But he was really bummed he didn't win the Oculus.
I'm sure he was.
I was like, yeah, that happens.
Win some, you lose some. I don't know. It's really tested us. I don't know what it is. I think it's just, Arlo's getting more mobile because he's crawling around now.
Yeah, he started that like 2 days ago.
And he's starting to actually like say stuff, like not necessarily
Mom,
say stuff.
Hey, you missed it. He said Dada tonight.
Mm-hmm. I've heard him say it.
Oh. Well, never mind. But he says Mama too.
Mm-hmm. He says them both. Dada. Yep.
And he was like waving tonight.
Mm-hmm. He's getting more...
I feel like in the last like 4 days, he's like, oh, I'm going to just evolve and do a lot more stuff.
Because for a while, he would just sit there like a turd, He'd just float there. And
he's a good boy.
He is a good boy. I mean, he's a really good baby, but he is getting more mobile and...
He moves fast.
Like, our house is baby-proofed, but now we're really going to have to baby-proof.
Our house is toddler-proofed.
Yeah. Well,
our house is not under one mobile-proof.
No, so now here we are.
Back to Rhett, don't give him small toys. Don't leave small toys out. Enzo, don't leave small toys out. Move the Legos. Move all the chokables.
It's just a whole different, like, season now. Because now Rhett is very... He's the daredevil of the family. Like, Enzo, we didn't struggle with Enzo because Enzo was scared of everything, so he didn't want to try anything.
So what we were talking about earlier, we were saying, like, it used to drive you crazy that Enzo was scared of everything. Because even when we first started dating, like, Enzo was just about to turn 3. But he was scared of stuff. And you were just like, wow. Like, this is, like, Bridget, what is going on? He can't just be scared of stuff all the time. I was like, yeah, like, there's pros and cons. Like, my kid's not going to go run out in the street or try to jump off the balcony of the 3rd floor or throw himself down the stairs.
Right.
But he's also terrified of a bug and terrified of a shadow and terrified of the dark. And, you win some, you lose some. Rhett thinks he's invincible. And he is, like, very process mind, cause and effect mind. Like, he wants to see...
what's going to happen.
What happens when he does something.
No regard for how it could affect him or somebody else.
No, he has no concept of, like... I don't want to say he's not body aware, because I think he's actually very body aware. But I think he doesn't think at all about, like, repercussions of stuff. Mm-hmm. But even when he gets hurt, he just gets up and does it again. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck? How many times do I gotta tell him his food's hot? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm just gonna try it anyway, and then get mad.
He climbs everything. He throws himself off the couch. He throws himself off the chair.
Oh, God, he was, like, diving off the chair last night.
I had to take away... I had a thing hidden. It was, like, one of the first toys we bought when we got out here for him that he could scoot around on and had wheels.
Yeah.
I hid it because of what happened last time. I hid it in the cabinet while he found it because I had the cabinet open. And he pulled it out. And so I was like, oh, maybe he'll be better this time. He's gotten older. Well, today, 3 times, he did a wheelie on the damn thing and fell back on his back. And I'm like... I can't do this. Like, I just can't watch
anxiety.
I just can't watch you do this. Like, my parents must have hated me because I was a horrible kid. I know, he doesn't do half the stuff that I did, but man, he just drives me nuts. And he just sits there and he just knows how to turn the blade. Like, he really just, you know what?
You mean push your buttons?
Yeah, Dad, you know what, Dad? I'm going to fuck with you today and all day. And
you got so mad earlier because you told him it was time for nap, and he was like, I'm going to play a game.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to run around. And he had the biggest smile on his face, and you were just...
not having it.
You exploded. You were not having it at all. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, and that goes back to what we were discussing. I've had Rhett for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
You haven't.
No.
You've been dealing with Arlo.
I've had Arlo for a long time.
So I was frustrated because I'm sitting here dealing with this. Everybody's laughing about it. He's laughing about it. I am not happy. You're sitting on the couch not trying to help me.
Because I didn't think it was a big deal.
It was a big deal to me.
Like, I found that out when you exploded about it. I was like, oh, Enzo, let's pick up all the toys real quick.
It's not fun when you do, like, when you go through this daily with him in a routine daily and he fights you non-stop.
Yeah.
It's not fun. And then eventually, you hopefully get a couple hours in the middle of the day where you don't have to fucking deal with him. You put him in the fucking crib and he goes to sleep for 2 freaking hours. It's glorious.
Yeah, he didn't do that yesterday for you.
No, he didn't take a nap at all yesterday.
Oh, no, he did in the car at 6 o'clock at night.
With you.
Yep.
Not with me.
No.
So I had him all day yesterday. He didn't fucking nap. He screamed and he beat his head against the side of the freaking crib. So I pull him out, and he's just god-awful for the rest of the afternoon. You finally got to the point where you had to put him in a car and drive him away so I could just have a few seconds. You left me with baby.
Yeah.
I could have a few seconds.
He's a good boy.
Yes, he is, but I still had to deal with him. A few seconds to myself without this toddler that's...
I think we were gone for like an hour, weren't we?
Yeah, you were gone for a little while.
Yeah.
This toddler that's nuts. Like, it's just hammering, just constant with him. And yeah, I blew up. I was not happy. I was like, at what point are you going to come over, Mom, and handle this? Or am I just going to keep blowing up at this kid?
I think I looked at it like he's having fun, he's being funny, like...
I was not looking at it like that. I just wanted him to go to sleep so I could get a couple hours to myself.
Yeah. So for me, I didn't see that you were mad because I was like, whatever, like, this is his thing. He plays a little game and then in 5 minutes he'll be ready.
Well, it wasn't that. I had been cleaning up the house while watching him and vacuuming and trying to get things cleaned up. And we just had a thing with Enzo, and he comes over and takes his big toy bins and just dumps them out all over the floor. Like, because he's obviously nervous because Dad's cleaning. Dad is a fucking OCD freak. So
it's just settling for him when
shit's clean.
When you go and put all of his toys away.
Yeah.
And so he does the thing that is the opposite. He pulls them all out. It's like this little battle I watch play out every time. You'll go on like, because your OCD doesn't like kick hard all the time, but every once in a while it does. And like you go like cray through the house just in like hard OCD mode. And so you'll pick up everything and you see him be like, ugh. And he goes and gets everything and puts it out then to be like, absolutely not. No, I'm not done playing.
Yeah.
And he did dump the entire bin of toys on himself and just smiled and laid in it.
Both of them.
And he was so fucking happy.
Then he fought me on going to taking a nap.
He was so fucking happy about it though, like laying in the toys.
It was definitely a moment I probably should have just walked away. I probably should have gone downstairs, went out in the garage, and just kind of let you deal with it. Yeah. Realistically. But yeah, he got yelled at instead.
Did you apologize to him?
I did.
That's important.
I apologized to him when he got from his nap.
Yeah. Not going to be perfect parents.
No, I mean, there's plenty of days that I am not even a F+ parent.
But the important part is...
honestly, 90% of the days I'm not even an F+ parent.
I would not say that. You're being too hard on yourself. Don't be woe as me. You're a great fucking dad. You know that.
I struggle with him.
He's a toddler. He is fiery.
I fucking see him and I see me and I'm like, oh my God, I want to kill this thing.
He's a fiery toddler.
Ugh. He just challenges me so much. I've gone through a lot of shit in my life.
Tell me 5 things that you absolutely adore about him.
5 things that I absolutely adore about him?
Yeah. We're going to turn this conversation.
When he says dada in the morning when he wakes up and I'm laying in bed and I hear him through the monitor.
Yeah.
I like our mornings together.
Yeah.
Because it's just me and him and he's not quite awake, but he's still very excited about the day and excited to be him. I like when me and him do our baths most of the time, unless he's throwing water outside the tub. I like the fact that he's a very good listener most of the time. Like, he will, if you ask him to do something, he'll do it.
Especially if you say the word help.
Yeah. Will you help me with this?
If you say, hey, will you throw this away? He won't do it, but will you help mommy by throwing this away? He all of a sudden is like, oh, I can help. Yeah. It's like a trigger for him, the word help. I've learned that.
I love the fact that he has so much love.
Yeah.
He has so much love to give other people. Like, he gives his baby brother hugs and kisses for bed.
Yeah.
He does that for you.
Yep.
He does it with Enzo. He does it with me. No matter how hard I am on him, when I put him to bed at night, he always smiles at me.
Kid loves you unconditionally.
Yeah, I know. And I push him away like my fucking parents did to me.
Being able to recognize that is how you can work to change it, though.
Yeah, it's just tough. It's tough to cope like that because then you start to realize, oh, fuck, I am my parents. The last people in the world I wanted to turn into,
Yeah.
and that's who I am.
All of us are a version of our parents because of the fact that we were raised by them.
Yeah.
You know? And it's really hard work to change generational traumas.
Yeah, but for two individuals that I don't see very often, they still have a huge impact on my life daily.
Yeah.
It's sad, really. Like,
Crazy.
the last thing I want is my son to hate me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hate my dad, but I don't have a relationship with him. You know, my mom and my relationship's okay. I mean, it's gotten better over the years only because I've just stopped caring about it all and let a lot of shit go. I don't know. I don't want him to wake up one morning resenting me. And I feel like right now he does.
Resents you?
Yeah.
Our child?
Yeah.
You just said no matter what, he gives you a smile going to bed at
Could
night.
be a fake smile.
OMG.
It's just hard. I don't
You're
know.
so dramatic.
It's just hard. I don't know.
Enzo's a tough one. He's an 8-year-old boy, you know, and
He's not your average boy.
no, but he's extremely smart and struggles socially, like most really smart kids. But we had a good conversation about it today, but it was really sad. Because I asked him, like, hey, are you excited to try to make friends out here? And he said, oh, no, definitely not. And I was like, well, why? He was like, well, I don't want to try to make friends with people. And I was like, okay, why? He's like, I don't know. I was like, well, what bad thing happened in a friendship that makes you not want to try to make friends? He said, well, this kid that was my best friend told me he didn't want to be friends anymore. And he started crying. And I was like, first off, I've never heard of his best friend, so it's not a name I recognize, but whatever. It's from his school last year. And so I was like, oh my gosh, come here. Let me hug you. That's so sad. And that must hurt your heart a lot. I'm really sorry, bud. And we kind of talked about how making friends can be hard. And sometimes you'll get a no. Or you'll have someone say they don't want to be friends. But we just keep trying.
Yeah, you guys were having a serious moment about that whole deal.
I know. I felt so bad for him because I was like, man, this kid got, hurt or traumatized by the situation, and he has internalized that because how long ago was he in school?
Yeah, it was a while ago.
This kid has held this in his heart. I can't make friends because they might just tell me one day they don't want to be friends anymore.
Yeah.
So he's very much like an empath in that he really holds a lot in his heart, And that just made me so sad to realize man, he is legit fearful and doesn't want to invest the time in friendship for the fear of being hurt. It's like someone having gotten out of a bad relationship who's I don't want to get in a relationship again because I might get hurt again. It's that same feeling, and he's having that at 8. That's sad, So we talked a little bit about, I said the most exciting thing, bud, is that you haven't even met some of the people that are going to be your best friends in your life. I said, how cool is that to know that they're out there and that story is already written, that these people are going to be your best friend and you're going to meet them one day. I was like, how cool is that to think about? He was like, yeah. I said, so you just gotta keep trying. And sometimes you have friends that are in your life for a short time and sometimes for a long time, and both are okay. But I felt really bad for him.
We're such an emotional family.
Yeah.
You and him are extremely emotional. Rhett is emotional. I am very emotional.
You're highly emotional. I'm glad you recognize that now. I think you used to not think, I think you used to think you just got angry. No, like, you're highly emotional. You get fired up.
You've rubbed off on me. I used to be cold.
I know. You cry at things from time to time. It's amazing.
I don't know what that's about.
I love it. It's beautiful.
I'm freaking old.
We are getting old, but
My heart's softening a little bit.
it was a good conversation with Enzo, but it's tough, man, kids.
Even with all the negative things that have happened today, there was quite a bit of beautiful things that happened today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, I mean, this conversation, for one, and you being able to console Enzo, and me recognizing my faults,
Yeah.
and giving myself grace, to understand that I'm not going to be the perfect parent, but I can be better, and, we got to spend all day today with our 3 boys. And Arlo's crawling.
That's so crazy.
He says mama and dada,
Literally in a week, he was like, I'm just gonna grow up all of a sudden.
Yep.
Y'all mentioned too many times that I'm trying to be a baby forever, so fuck y'all. I'm growing up right now.
Start walking.
Right. Oh, child.
So, I don't know. I think everybody just needs to kind of remember that, we are human. We do make mistakes. And I don't know. I think the more you can recognize them, the more that you can, not hide them from yourself and lie to yourself about them.
Face them, accept them, and try to change them.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it.
You guys have a good week.
And we will talk to you again soon.
Thanks everybody for listening. You can check us out at
FreezerMilk.com.
or Instagram.
Freezer Milk Podcast.
Until next week, guys. Thanks.
Don't forget, parenting is a trip. We are all here on the journey with you together. Thanks so much for listening.